Hey, it is party time, Mom. Welcome to another episode, a Tuesday episode of the Chad Prather Show here from the Mothership, which is Studio 22, driven by the puppet master Mark himself, taking us into the nether regions. We are going to get into the major headlines of the day, not the least of which, of course, is Pete Buttigieg declaring victory way ahead of the counts of the caucus in Iowa. And the caucus in Iowa, well, they blew it. They just blew it. I mean, you had one caucus and you blew it. There's too many soft caucus jokes. We're going to get into all things caucus, and it's going to be fun. And then we're going to talk about the Super Bowl halftime show, folks. It is party time, Mom. Stay horned. I'm telling you, I was hashtag staying horned after the Super Bowl. Halftime Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians, the next best thing to J-Lo herself. And, of course, Party Foul Steve is in the pub, hanging out, looking good. Looking good. Yeah, Hot News Natalie, my partner in crime.
You know it.
With her chafed butt.
Yes.
What in the world does that mean? When I say it looks like your butt got into a tangle with a bobcat and a piece of sandpaper.
Okay, well, here's what happened. I've been doing CrossFit. Mm-hmm. I really like it.
Yeah.
Didn't think I would. And they had us do a lot of sit-ups. And I did so many sit-ups that I rubbed the top of my butt crack raw.
That is a lot of sit-ups. But I've seen you on the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders on the making the team thing, and you showed me a video clip of when you were having to do the sit-ups, and you're a machine.
My abs have never been my issue. Like
you got a strong core.
My core is pretty strong. It's from basically the hips down where the issues come in. Like, I should lunge home from here to fight the cellulite.
When you go into CrossFit, do you do the whole, like, you wrap up like a gladiator, you know, with the knees and the whole thing?
No, and a lot of the girls they're just hoss. Like, they're hosses. They can put the big circles, the barbell, 45s, whatever.
Wheels.
Yes, they put those on the bar, and I'm proud with my 35-pound bar and the 5s, maybe the 10s, maybe. But I don't want to get hurt. You know, I'm too scared. So
nobody does.
No, nobody.
Nobody does.
I know. You got to know your strengths, people.
You got to know your strengths,
and you got to know your weakness.
We had a ball, Steve and I, out on the road over this last weekend. We were tired, though. I'm telling you, Bakersfield, California, Visalia, California, one of the most fun shows I've ever done. It's incredible. Just had a blast because that audience was lit. I mean, they were on fire in Visalia, California. And I was just shooting from the hip all night long, and it was funny, dude. It was a funny show, Steve.
It was a funny show.
It was a funny show. It was a funny show. And then, of course, Reno. We were in Reno, and it was a fun show, but I was worn out, so we were glad to get home. We're headed out Flora, Illinois, Friday night. Flora, Illinois. Middle of nowhere, Flora. It's the middle of nowhere. We're flying into St. Louis and having to drive 2 hours, something like that, just to get to it. Middle of nowhere. Between Evanston, I don't know. We're Indiana. And then
you get to ride for 2 hours. I get to drive.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I included a we on that.
Yeah.
We're a collective group. I'm going down to San Antonio. I'll be down there Thursday at the San Antonio Stock Show. Going to be down there in the convention center hanging out. Got a little meet and greet in the morning, a little meet and greet in the afternoon. It's going to be fun. What's up, yo?
Are you going to go to the Fort Worth Stock Show? I went there this past weekend.
Yeah.
Got to see a little bit of rodeo action.
Yeah, you did.
Never enough bull riding. And Mark agrees with me. There's never enough bull riding. I want more bull riding.
It's always the last event of the rodeo, and it's very fast.
I was like, what?
You got to go to PBR events.
I know.
Just
so
I've
done that. It's just straight up bull riding.
That is coming up.
Let's go.
I want to talk about, we'll go. We'll talk about it. Here's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about the Iowa caucuses. A lot of people don't even know what a caucus is, right? And all I'm saying is that I'm going to define this for you, and then we're going to talk about it, all right? An Iowa caucus, or not Iowa, but a caucus is when when state delegates start picking who their candidate is going to be. And then you get to determine which delegates are going to go to the convention in order to nominate the candidate. So that's what's going on in Iowa right now. We always know Iowa's a big deal, then New Hampshire. We're going to talk about this nightmare of a caucus that's going on right now. But first, every single night, local police departments across America receive hundreds of calls from burglar alarms the vast majority of the time, they have no idea whether the alarm is real, is there really a crime going on, or no. All the alarm company can tell them is the motion sensor went off. I mean, maybe it was the dog that set it off. Maybe the parakeet got out of the cage. We don't know. It can severely impact the response time of local law enforcement. Well, Simply Safe home security is different. If there's a break-in, Simply Safe uses real video evidence to give police an eyewitness account of the crime. That means police dispatch up to 350% faster than for normal burglar alarms. You get comprehensive protection for your entire home. Outdoor cameras and doorbells alert you to anyone approaching your house. Entry, motion, and glass break sensors guard inside, plus Simply Safe protects your home from fires, water damage, and carbon monoxide poisoning. I love it. 24-hour, 7-day monitoring by live security professionals. You can set up your system yourself. No tools needed. Or, hey, Simply Safe can do it for you. And it's only 50 cents a day with no contracts. Imagine that. Just 50 cents a day for peace of mind. That's cheap. Visit simplysafe.com/watchchad. You'll get free shipping and a 60-day risk-free trial. So you got absolutely nothing to lose. Go now. Make sure you go to simplysafe.com/watchchad so that you know, so they know that our show sent you. Simply, SIMPLI safe.com/watchchad. So the caucuses. In the middle of this election cycle, they've had 3 years. The Democrats have focused on Donald Trump and an impeachment. They've focused on Russian collusion. They have focused on election meddling. They have focused on the Mueller report. They have focused on Ukraine scandal. They have focused on the impeachment process. They've done all these things except focus on their own election. I've said it over and over and over and over and over again. A house of cards falls in on itself. Bad logic will display itself. This is evidence because they have an app, right? They have this new app that they were using to tally the votes in this Iowa caucus. Well, the thing screwed up. So now they're having to go back through and manually do it. They have no idea who won the Iowa caucus. I mean, the Republican thing was over. It was a massive 97% landslide approval rate for Donald Trump. Bam. He's the guy, right, on the Republican side. But in Iowa, you got Pete Buttigieg, who basically came out. See, people think that Mayor Pete's CIA, right? They think he's an operative.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because he comes out, and so the hashtag trending right now is Mayor Cheat because he came out and said, you know, tonight Iowa
and I saw
chose
Pete
a new
the
path.
cheat.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you know, you got that. You got Biden who's claiming it. Let me tell you what happened. Bernie Sanders buried the field. That's what happened. I'm making the prediction right now. He buried the field, but the DNC can't have Bernie Sanders. He's not part of the system. He's not part of the, he's not one of the guys in there. He's not an insider. Now, I'm not a fan. I think Bernie Sanders, maybe he's probably a nice guy, right? I think he's probably, you know, who knows? I think he's weird, but he's a communist. Let's face it. And I know everybody's like, well, make up your mind. Is he a socialist or is he a communist? Vladimir Lenin said that the goal of socialism is communism, so it doesn't matter. You throw Democrat on the front of it, democratic socialist. Socialism is still socialism, all right? I mean, hey, if you want to be a socialist, just share all your delegate votes. Make it all even across. Everybody wins, right? Isn't that right? No. Obviously, Bernie's getting screwed. So, anyway. This is a raucous caucus going on in Iowa, I'm telling you. And if you've been blue-pilled and your caucus lasts more than 4 hours, it's time to call your government socialized healthcare provider. Who knew a caucus could be so hard? You know, Iowa is such a cock block. I told you, I just love these soft caucus jokes. Anyway, it's happening, folks. It is falling in on itself, Natalie. The Democrats,
but Pete's
it's falling
saying
in
I
on
won.
itself.
He's like, I won.
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah. We'll see. Klobuchar is saying, on to New Hampshire. Biden saying, oh, yeah, we're there. Elizabeth Warren. I mean, it's funny. Bernie's burying them. Bernie's burying them, which is scary. Scary. But he's not an establishment guy. But it's just telling you. And like, I mean, he's constantly calling on the young people, which I think a dirty old man's a dirty old man, right? I don't care if you're calling on them physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. If you constantly, stop calling on young people. You're an old dude, man. Just call for voters, right? And Pete Buttigieg comes out with a tweet, and he's lying. These guys, why are they always saying, well, I had a 14-year-old tell me this or that? He said he had a 14-year-old that told him she's already written her will because she doesn't think she's going to live any very much longer because she's got to go to school, and with all these school shootings and things like that. She's already written her will. What the hell is a 14-year-old put in their will? That didn't happen. Come on, Pete. Come on, Mayor Pete. That didn't happen. You're lying, Mayor Pete. He says he talked to an 11-year-old, and 11-year-old told him, whatever, how scared she was about this election. I'm like, give me a break. This stuff. I'll take things that never happened for 500, Alex. That's the truth. Candace, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I want to read another commercial before we move on and talk about creepy old men and young people. I've got a point to make. But the point of the Second Amendment is to fight governmental tyranny, and that is basically what is being proposed in Virginia right now. In addition to draconian laws, including some which essentially strip you of due process, there is a proposal which would allow localities to ban outdoor gun ranges simply by changing the zoning. So not only are they trying to take away your Second Amendment rights, they're trying to prevent you from safely practicing. And this is why a product like iTarget is so important. Using their proprietary app and a laser bullet, iTarget Pro will allow you to safely practice training with your actual firearm in the convenience and privacy of your own home. iTarget comes with it comes in all the major calibers, including .223 and .556. So if you need to use your AR-15s, no more excuses for not making it to the range. You'll have everything you need literally at your fingertips. This means less driving to the range, less ammo, more money saved, and less government bureaucrats. Get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code CHAD. And hey, we still need to fight for our rights, but get iTarget before they try to ban that too. Take your skill to the next level safely and effectively with iTarget Pro. That's the letter I, targetpro.com. Use offer code CHAD. Okay, did you see these images coming out of Joe Biden kissing his granddaughter? And just he's doing it over and over again. Like it is this close to being open mouth. Have you seen the picture, Steve?
No, I haven't looked at it.
It's creepy. Now, I mean, here's his young adult
She's 19.
teenage granddaughter.
Yeah, I'm going to go look.
And you would. And he's constantly kissing her. Now, I come from one side of my family was a kissing side of the family, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like sometimes different brothers and sisters, not my immediates.
Go kiss your grandma.
But like uncles and aunts, they would kiss, see each other in a while and kiss each other right on the lips. And I was always like, was that necessary?
The first thing I punched in Joe in Google search, just Joe, and it says Joe Biden kisses granddaughter on lips during Iowa rally.
Yeah.
Like here's a guy.
Yeah, that's gross.
Who is constantly catching it, right? You gonna Google it now?
Yeah.
Google it, everybody, while I talk. So here's a guy who's constantly catching flack for inappropriately sniffing and touching and kissing on women, particularly children and young women. And Joe has come out and said that's just how he does things. He's very touchy-feely, right? Well, stop, dude. Like, who is running this old Cooter Browns campaign? I mean, somebody put a restraint on this guy, put a leash around his neck, a shock collar, anything. When he goes to put his lips on something, just give him a little buzz. It's, But see, Joe sees himself kind of as a Clint Eastwood tough guy. He's always touching people, Like if somebody asks him a hard question, if it's a guy, you ever notice he's always grabbing them by the collars and he's holding them like that, and then he'll bump their chest with his fist like he's, like you're a coach or something with a football player. I'm like, I'd beat the shit out of that guy. Like you put your hands on me and they're going to have to call the Secret Service, dude. I'll grab you by the lapels, snatch you around a little bit. How about that, Joe? You old Cooter Brown. I mean, the guy comes out the other day and says, hey, I need to make sure that whoever's running with me for vice president could make a good president because, hey, I'm old. I could die. Now, that is a hell of a campaign stump right there.
Right.
I mean, I could die.
Have y'all zoomed in on the picture of him kissing his granddaughter?
Yeah, I just did.
I'm ashamed to say that I have.
Not the lips. Go further down. They're holding hands, and she's lifting her skirt up with her other hand.
What?
No, I'm looking at it right now.
What?
Oh, Steve.
That's weird.
What? Oh.
And this is who the DNC. This is the only
All
person the DNC thinks can be elected president. That's why all the trouble in Iowa.
Well, then look, the whole thing in Iowa is you're dealing with people who have consistently rigged an election. I don't care what anybody says. You come at me. The stuff, this is what we've seen in the last 3 years. This is what's been proven. Now, people don't want to see this. They don't want to admit this. But let me just lay this out here. If the DNC, if the Democrats are accusing someone else of doing something, they're doing it themselves. That's what we're seeing. You want to talk about collusion. You want to talk about Ukrainian controversy. Look no further than the DNC. Look no further than the Hillary Clinton campaign back in 2015 and 16. I'm telling you, if they're accusing, they're doing it. They have meddled in elections for so long, and I am 100%. I would lay $1,000 down on this if we could prove it unequivocally. I would make the bet that they're screwing up because now they don't know what to do. I mean, they say they're counting 100% of the votes, but 212% of their people showed up to vote. I mean, how many genders do you have to be? Does each gender get to vote? I mean, this is what happens when you try to count ballots using Common Core math. It's just totally screwed up.
I feel like you and I, we all talked about this fourth quarter, maybe even before that this would implode on itself because they've been ramping up with a bunch of BS coming at Trump, and now we're just watching them try to have this show. Yeah. It's imploding.
This is so funny. Like, I had a blast with it watching it last night, just kind of unfold on Twitter, because it's just like you want a good show and you get the Super Bowl, right? I mean, it's like, oh my gosh. I mean, you can't even count that delegates. You can't even count heads, and we expect you, the Democrats, to run our healthcare system? No. What you gonna do about climate change? You can't even pick delegates in Iowa. Are you kidding me? You can't even pick delegates that you think you're gonna save the planet, that you're gonna run the country? No damn way. I mean, there's just no way. And you think that you can deal with countries with terrorists that want to kill us, and you can't even pick delegates in a state that's known for corn? I mean, it's just ridiculous. I threw the meme up, Stacey Abrams, with the gap in her teeth, who thought she won the election in Georgia as governor. She still thinks she's the governor of Georgia at this point. I posted a thing with the corn. I said, here's evidence that Stacey Abrams showed up in Iowa to win the election, to claim her victory. And people are like, that's racist. Well, gaps in teeth, they ain't got nothing to do with your skin. No, I had a gap in my teeth. I got a gap right here.
I'm white.
People talk about how good my teeth are. I got a gap right there. See?
I see it.
See a gap right there. Mr. McConnell's. Cocaine, Mr. McConnell's. So I'm just having a blast watching it. It's fun. You need to follow me on Twitter @WatchChad. That's where I am on fire. Or as Shakira would say, en fuego. I don't know what Shakira would say.
She would say.
But Joe, yeah, exactly. And that's exactly, look, it's Natalie. That's exactly how Joe Biden kisses his daughter, his granddaughter. It's disgusting, man. It's just a weird freaking family. And that's who the Democrats want in there. That's who they want. They want Joe Biden. I'm not even sure Joe wants it.
Well, not if he's saying he's going to be dead.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hell of a stump right there, man. What a platform. Well, I'm dying. I'm 900 years old and I'm dying. Jack, you want to do some push-ups? Man, Jack. What do you say, fat? I mean, it's just, he calls all these people these names. Stupid. Anyway, did you see him tell the guy the other day? He's like, I'm starting to see why your wife left you. Did you see that? The guy's asking him a question. He says, my wife left me and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm starting the game. Joe can't handle the hard questions. And then he was on with the interviewer the other day, and, he loses his mind because she's asking questions about Hunter. And he's like, well, he was a bright guy. That's why he got the job with Burisma. He's a bright guy. Well, there's a lot of freaking bright guys in the world. There's a lot of bright girls. That doesn't mean they make $85,000 a month. I'm reasonably bright. They're not asking me to run an oil and gas company in the Ukraine.
Oh, they should.
They should.
You'd be good at it.
I'll change citizenship.
Bye.
I'm telling you, the world's gone crazy, Natalie. Joe Biden's impregnating granddaughters. It's sick.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
just disgusting.
Who said that?
I didn't
Don't worry
see
about
that.
it, Steve. I just want to see if people are paying attention. Hey, just because she says she doesn't want anything for Valentine's Day doesn't mean she doesn't deserve anything. Not to worry. The Bouqs Company has you covered. That's Bouqs. I love them, as in bouquet of flowers. They offer farm fresh, sustainably sourced flowers for next or same day delivery. Order today and get 25% off your entire purchase. Go to Bouqs.com/Chad. That's Bouqs.com/Chad for 25% off with the code Chad. And remember, Valentine's Day isn't just for lovers. Show your best Valentine, your galantine, and Donka Shane some love. Let mom know how much you love her, or make that first move with the one you've been crushing on. Fellas, you think it's cold outside now? Wait until you forget Valentine's Day. I'm looking out for you. Don't spend Valentine's night on the couch. Oh, no. The Bouqs Company, they're here to make your life easier. And they offer more than just roses. You'll find sweet treats, beautifully styled bouquets, plants, gifts, and succulents on their site. This Valentine's Day, spread the Bouq love with your first love, your forever love, and your loved ones. Go to Bouqs.com/Chad today for 25% off with the code Chad. Joe Biden, go shopping for Valentine's Day. Woo! Glory. Speaking of perverts, I don't know what I think. Okay, so I make these truck videos, all right? I that's kind of been the bread and butter. I sit in my truck and I rant. I just ramble and throw words together and twist phrases. I do it for about 3 minutes, and then I get it off my chest, and I'm done with it. I post the video, and people just let it lay there where it may. Now, here is the, if you will, genius of the truck video shtick. And here's what people rarely ever see, but this is the thing that I do that people don't think about. It's not just about the phraseology. It's not just about the funny way of putting things, Natalie. When you watch the truck videos, people usually don't really, you don't know my opinion if you're truly listening to the letters, just the letter of the law of what I'm saying. You don't know my opinion on something, but the way I say it, you think you know my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
It's deep.
People read into it. They're like, they automatically, I've done different ones on any topic under the sun. But most recently, just yesterday, I did one on the Super Bowl, specifically the Super Bowl halftime. And you can go watch it for yourself. It's on my YouTube, which you need to be subscribed to anyway. Chad Prather. You can actually go to youtube.com/Chad Prather 1. I think we're changing that to just Chad Prather. I'm not sure if we got it or not, but Chad Prather 1. And you can subscribe. You can see it on Facebook. Usually you can see them on Instagram, whatever. So we talked about this halftime thing. And my point was, if you really listen to it, I said that it was a backhanded compliment. J-Lo, who's 53 years old, Shakira, who's 40-something. They look good. They look good for their age, right?
They look great.
And I was talking about how it was just a backhanded way of saying they look great for their age, but it was kind of the octogenarian halftime, these old girls that are all trussled up and doing their thing. Well, America was in an uproar. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. Steve,
I
loved it.
I loved it. I thought the choreography was great.
Yeah.
Aside from, a few of the crotch shots up close with the camera, they could have done without that, and it's still been a great show. But you're cherry picking one thing to pull out of it and go, oh, the whole thing was horrible, which overall it was good. I've got lots of friends that they have one thing that I don't necessarily like about them, but I'm still friends with them. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like you. I could do without your crotch shots.
Yeah.
Steve, stop sending me your dick pics, but I like you.
I put my crotch shot out on Facebook before the Super Bowl ever came on. So
yeah, so you're a trendsetter.
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter.
Basically prophetic.
It was just my pants, though. I was not inside my pants.
You really did do that.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. He really did. He spilled his drink. When he was backstage while I was on stage in Reno the other night, he spilled a cup of water.
I drugged this big comfy chair over to the side stage door so I could just peek out and watch Chad's show, and I'm getting all comfy. About the time I got comfy, I spilled my whole glass of water in my lap.
So he took a picture of his crotch. It looks like he pissed his pants. So he took it and he put it. They had a Dyson air dryer in the green room, so he had his pants in there. He's standing back there in his underwear. Well, that thing's not generating enough air to dry his pants off, so he's got to put the wet pants back on and go up to the 14th floor where our room was. And he had to, our rooms, I should say. We don't stay in the same room, Mom. And
if we did, who cares?
I do. No. But so he goes to his room and he has to change his pants, right? Totally looked like he pissed his pants, but there's a reason why we call him party foul. Now, so you did put a crotch shot out there, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of.
And then I posted on Facebook that I liked. I thought it was the best halftime show I've ever seen. And then I didn't comment after that. I didn't like anybody, but they just go off on it and give their opinion. Some like it, some don't.
I mean, okay, let's talk about the nuts, the bolts, the hypocrisy of it. And people are like, well, I don't care about NFL. And I'll be honest with you, I did not watch the game. Didn't watch the game. I watched a movie with my wife. About every 30 minutes, I checked in on the score on the ESPN app. That was it. But I didn't watch a single play of the game. Didn't watch the halftime special. I watched most of it after the fact because people were blowing up about it, and I like to stay conversant in the things that are going on in the world. So in that regard, I had no skin in the game. I didn't care who won it. I was kind of pulling for the Chiefs just because some of our buddies that we do work with are Chiefs fans. Didn't have any skin in the game. Wasn't my Cowboys, right?
Right.
So, Twitter was afire. Last year, Maroon 5 performed. Adam Levine, of course, took his shirt off and, showed off his stuff. All the women in my life loved it. They appreciated some naked Adam Levine. I appreciated some naked Adam Levine. I'm like, okay, whatever. This year, you get the crotch shots. Years ago, we know we had the wardrobe malfunction with Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. There's always been a little bit of raucousness and vulgarity, if you will, depending on how your values are, with a Super Bowl halftime show. It's provocative. It is provocative. You remember when Prince did it a few years ago and he had his artist formerly known as Prince guitar. It was silhouetted and it looked like his penis sticking out in front of him. Okay. So it's always been provocative, unless it's the Rolling Stones or Bruce Springsteen, those kind of shows, those halftime shows. Lady Gaga's was fun. The one with Coldplay was a little bit communist, but whatevs. They're always trying to make a little political statement doing what they're doing.
Was it Beyonce was that the Super Bowl? She did the Black Panther.
Police thing,
Yeah, okay.
So here's my take. Last year, you ladies were all like, oh, Adam Levine. And this year, you're all upset because they pulled a stripper pole out and, there was a crotch grabbing and they were assless, in their clothing and stuff like that. You're watching a program that you know what you're watching. This is about men who are gladiators who go out and try to crush each other's skulls. They end up with major concussions. Many of them commit suicide because of the brain trauma. This is an epidemic that's going on. You support this with your viewership, with your fanship, with all of these things. You're watching a modern-day Coliseum gladiator battle. That's what you are. We've always had the scantily clad girls on the side. You were one of those scantily clad girls, Natalie, as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for a couple of seasons. We appreciate that. It's a gladiator, right? It's modern day Rome when we see these things. 80,000 people cheering for the biggest hits and the hardest hits, and they want to see their team just crush the other team, right? And it's just man against man. So I don't know what you think you expect when you watch the premier game of the season. This is when the ultimate gladiators battle, right? The Super Bowl. So pretty much from now on, let me just clarify it if you didn't already know and you should have. From now on, this is what you're going to get for Super Bowl halftime. This is the kind of thing you're going to get. This is the level of entertainment.
So I've been in a halftime, a televised halftime. It is ratings. I mean, when the whole Janet Jackson thing happened, quite a few years ago, if you think the NFL was really apologetic about that, you have to think again. There was nothing more than them going, hee, because all they want is for you to talk about it. And that's exactly what's happening. Everybody's getting fired up because they kind of push the envelope on that. A stripper pole, I mean, I don't know. There was a pole out there. She didn't take her clothes off on that pole, but I know everybody saw it that way.
It also kind of goes back to the movie. She's making a movie now.
Yeah.
Right now where she's a stripper in it, I guess, or something.
Don't care,
hustlers or
honestly.
whatever. Well,
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, kudos to them. I mean,
I looked at it from a technical standpoint, just the dancing, the overall performance for them to bring that kind of energy was truly phenomenal. The costumes, J-Lo's costume wasn't my favorite. Not because I thought she actually could have been sexier with more clothes on because her body's banging. But but I was looking at it from a technical standpoint, and I'll tell you, to put that much together, I actually missed the whole sex trafficking. I thought they were I didn't know what the little cages, I guess, was supposed to signify.
Children being separated. I mean, I interpret it as that's their political statement of children in cages.
I got it. But I did not see it at that point. I was looking at it from such a technical standpoint. And obviously, hindsight, people kind of bring it to your...
Now, let me flip the coin. Yes, as a culture, it's a shame that we have gone into a downward spiral in terms of what our values are.
True. What
we're okay to let into our minds.
We're desensitized.
We know that the Super Bowl is the #1 event on the planet every year for human trafficking, and you have these children that are singing, and then all of a sudden it turns into basically goddess worship with these scantily clad women on a pole. The hypocrisy is deep, especially in the age of Me Too. And I know there's people who say, well, Me Too is about consent, and these women are empowered. Well, yes and no. Because human nature hasn't changed. You can't continue to blatantly throw out sexual temptation and then not expect men who have testosterone that drives them to be tempted sexually to not act on that, right? So you got to be careful with that stuff. It was basically a softcore porn demonstration. All I'm saying to the viewer is that's what you're going to get. That's what we've bargained for. That's what we've allowed into our culture, and that's what we're going to get. We're not going to change all of that, right? We're not going to change it. That's what's going to happen. I put a meme out this morning of the Amish lady singing out of a hymn book, and I said, y'all keep it up. This is what you're going to get next season for the halftime show, and people are losing their mind. You can't believe you're bringing the Amish into it. Well, they don't know. They don't know.
They won't see it.
They don't have electricity, so they certainly don't see my memes.
Have you ever went back and watched old episodes of Hee Haw? You know, the country thing? You know how provocative that was for that time and for the women? Look what they were wearing and listen to the jokes that they're telling and stuff.
The Benny Hinn show?
Man.
Watch that as a
Solid
kid. And some of the people that complain about this thing, they grew up on that. They don't realize if you go back and watch it now, you're right. Wow, they were really putting it in our face then too.
Yeah. Well, it's sex sells. We know that. Yep. But we've allowed it, okay? You've allowed it. So it's kind of hard to come back. There's hypocrisy on both sides. We've allowed it because we don't want to be labeled as puritanical. And it's just we're getting what we asked for. Getting what we asked for. And then you flip it around and boom, at the same time, you can't trust the hypocrisy of this quote-unquote empowered women thing because now you're still objectifying women by doing this. And I could stand by the argument. No need to keep getting into it. I mean, there it is. I mean, we're all guilty. We're all guilty. We live in a society where things ought to change, but things aren't going to change. They're just not going to change. And you women, for some reason, like to be exhibitionists. You like to take your clothes off. It's true. It's true. It's true. You girls like to show it off. Get on Instagram sometime. They like to show it off.
That halftime show didn't hurt any of my game after the game.
Yeah.
Well, it made my hair stand up. I'll just say that.
I've been on that sideline. I've worn that uniform. It's more than a swimsuit. I will say that, which everybody's been in a swimsuit. It is more than I like to be sexy. And I also know, I understand the hashtag Me Too. I can't, the hashtag Me Too just pisses me off.
Right.
From somebody who was taken advantage of as a child sexually. I can speak to that. I was proud to wear that uniform on that sideline and be an athlete and get to cheer on my favorite team. I loved it. It was more than a swimsuit. I think I was respectable, and I know my own body. I love my body. I wouldn't even, if I put that uniform on now, I'd have a muffin top. I mean, I know I would. I wouldn't put it on now, but I worked really, really hard to be able to be fit like that. I didn't mind showing it off.
And as a guy, I want to see that. Muffin top and all. On a 50-foot screen.
And now let me qualify what I said a minute ago. Just because you guys have testosterone does not mean you get to go out and act on every impulse, even if a woman does expose herself. And yes, thank God women are beautiful. Thank God they are pretty. Thank God they are smart and confident and sexy. Yes, sexy. And thank God they are. Thank God they are. Because, man, this would be an ugly world if it was just us dudes. But that does not give us the right, just because of hormonal exercise, to go out there and just act on anything that we got. So respect women.
And may I say, there's a big difference between an adult putting on, more revealing outfits, and anyone looking at a child in that way, and a child being in a more revealing out. There's a big difference there. I'm an adult now.
All right. Hey, we got final thoughts, Steve.
Well, my final thought is, a few years ago, all these people that are going off about the Super Bowl, they said they would never watch another NFL football game again. Yeah. And they're on there watching it and complaining. So, screw y'all.
See, that's why I'm not a part of the boycott culture. I didn't watch the game, but it wasn't because of boycott. Just had no desire to. And congratulations to the Chiefs for winning it. Congratulations to Patrick Mahomes. Seems like a good dude. God bless Andy Reid. I think he deserved it. Nobody deserved it more. And so good for him. And I'll just say, I'm not into boycott culture. I said I wasn't going to watch the NFL until that issue got resolved. I feel like they resolved that issue, so I don't have a problem if I'm watching a game. But unless I'm sitting in an airport or something like that, passing time, I really don't care what's going on with the NFL. Now, that being said, on a more somber note, of course, most of us know that yesterday Rush Limbaugh announced on his EIB network that he has advanced lung cancer. We don't know the full condition of that, but we do know that our hearts and prayers and thoughts go out to Rush. It's a shame some of the responses that have come out to people from people on the left who have basically wished death on him. And, of course, I tweeted my thoughts on it yesterday, and many people said, I don't know why you keep attributing the attitude of the right to the left. And I'm like, I get messages every day of people wishing cancer on my entire family. I get and then if you just read down in the thing, says, well, we just can't wait till Limbaugh's dead and F Limbaugh and all that stuff. You're not a part of, you're a cancer to society if that's your attitude. You really are. You're a rebellious cell yourself. So I have no use for you. That's neither here nor there. Our hearts from this program, and I'm sure from our Blaze TV family, go out to Rush Limbaugh and all the folks there at the EIB network. We love you. And we want you to go, make sure to where podcasts are offered, Apple Podcasts, and give us a 5-star rating. Leave us a review. We send so many people over to the YouTube channel that sometimes we forget that there is an audio version, and we have just as many people listening as we do watching. So I want to encourage you. And I know there's those of you, you're having your little community chat right now, saying hello to each other and goodbye and love y'all, and we'll see you tomorrow. But while you're online, go to where podcasts are offered. It's easy. Leave us a review. Leave us a good one. And make sure you're subscribed and you've hit the notification bell on the YouTube channel. And also, go to watchchad.com for all kinds of fun goodies. You can get Blaze TV merch, which, of course, has our current favorite T-shirt, Y'all Elitists Are Dumb. You got to get that one from the quote from Rick Wilson as he was talking to Don Lemon. That thing's selling like hotcakes. You can find my live tour schedule and all other fun sort of things and direct links to the podcast and many of our sponsors. So we will see you tomorrow night with a brand new episode of the Chad Prather Show as we take it off the rails. For Party Foul Stephen, Hot News, Natalie Candice, the Queen of the Ethiopians, and the Puppet Master Mark, we are coming out of the nether regions and into your living room. We'll see you tomorrow. Love you. God bless. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.